It's nice to get nice new things, and here we've got version 2.5 of the TR-8S, and Roland has gifted everyone a few new improvements. We've got FM drums on this already in the last version, but now we've got 6 models that you can actually tweak, so you haven't just got the morph between a couple of different sounds, you've got lots of parameters to play with. I'll show in a second. We've also got probability on each of the steps. We've got the probability of it being a ratchet and also a master probability as well to give you a lot more control. We can also randomize whole kits or individual sounds. And then we've got some new effects as well. We've got a ha-do reverb, I think that's how you say it, H-A-D-O-U, and that adds a little bit of pitch and a bit of gating, and then we've got a pitch delay as well. On the master bus, we've got a vinyl emulator, and we've also got this nice fattener as well. So I'll go through all of them individually, but first of all, let's start off with those new FM models. Here's our FM drum. You can see I've got a little low pass filter on there, and that's in the model itself. It's not one of the effects. What else have I got going on in here? That's me playing with the amount of FM. And again, I'm playing with different parameters on there. We can set up these controller knobs to affect any of the modeling parameters. So let's take a look at this with the software editor, because it just makes things a lot easier. So here we go. If we go into the instruments here, we've got instrument model here, the kick drum, and look, there we go. We've got access to all these parameters. And just to show you that on the previous FM kick samples, there was only the morph knob, as maybe you already know if you've already got this. But here we've got access to tons of stuff. So here we go. Playing with some of the parameters. Let's open that cutoff. So all sorts of craziness and all sorts of really gritty nastiness you can get out of this. Add some click, take the body off. So this is just the FM tone. You can see you can play with this for hours and hours. And it's not just kicks you can get from it, obviously. And then we've got the snare as well. Just take this delay off. Again, you can see here we've got a lot of parameters to play with. Let's load the initial model. On the previous FM models, again, just the morph knob. But on the new one, all these. So hundreds of tones in there. And toms, again, you can see plenty to play with. Something used in that little demo. Turn the delay up on that. I'm not going to go through all the parameters individually. What else have we got in here? We've got the clap. This claps interval is pretty cool. And the number of claps. Put FM again. Just take that delay off for a second. And then we've got percussive sound as well, the FM percussive model. I'll put this on the rim shot. It's really nice, this, isn't it? Again, tons of stuff in there. And then finally a metallic cymbal, and I'm using it on the closed and the open hat here. A lovely little bit of a FM rasp on that, isn't there? Again, loads of stuff to play with. And of course, they don't have to be hats. So a lovely little addition, and it just gives something else to play with. And you can get some really rugged, rough, dirty sounds from it. Okay, next up, let's take a look at these new probability options. Play this, nothing on, let's just put closed hi-hat on, turn it up. Last step on 8, so we're not listening to it all over and over. And then we'll hit step 5, and then we go across to probability. So, what are we on? Let's put it on 50%. So there we go, it's playing it about half the times. Let's just turn it a little bit lower. Let's put it on to 20%. Get the overall idea. Let's now put a sub on that. So we've still got the probability on whether it plays or not. So let's put that back on 100%. It's always playing on 5, but now let's change the probability of it actually playing one of the subs, one of the ratchets. So if we hold this, go to sub probability, so you just move through that menu system using these nudges. So sub probability, let's put it on 50%, say. There you go, about 50% of the time there, it was playing the sub or the ratchet. And we can have both of those on, so we can have a probability of it actually playing, and then when it plays, whether it's got the probability of playing the ratchet or not. So if we go back into this, and I'll go to the probability, put the probability on 50%, and then the ratchet probability is 50% as well, the sub probability. So sometimes it's playing, sometimes it's triggering once, and sometimes it's triggering more than once. Twice, in fact. And on top of that, we've got this master probability. And what that does, it increases or decreases the overall probability of something. So let's just put this back onto a simple step, just a single trigger. And we put the probability of this playing on 0. So it's never going to play. But now we've got a probability parameter on there, it will be affected by the master probability. So we go into this, put the master probability on 50%, then this will go from 0% to 50%. So you can hear it's playing about half the amount of times. So anything that's got a probability on it will be affected by the master probability levels. So if you've got a high probability and you get a negative master probability, you've got less chance of it playing. I'll just show that as well. So the probability of step 5 playing is 90%. So you think it'll play all the time, or 9/10 of the time. Or you could even say 90% of the time. And then so we press TR record and accent, and let's bring that down to -90. So now it should hardly ever play. It's on -86. There you go. So really nice little additions there. Looking at the randomization now, we hold sample and press instrument. It's really, really simple. Let's just play something. That's randomized the whole kit. To go back to the original kit, hold sample and utility and press instrument. And to randomize a single instrument, we just hold sample and then press the instrument. And again, to go back to the original, hold sample and utility and press instrument. Cool. And then the final ones are the effects. And I'll just go down to this nice 808 pattern. And this sounds lovely with the new tone fattener. If we go to Shift and edit the master effects. Oh, let's move this plant out of the way. It's not very useful. And type, enter. It's got these two new ones at the end, vinyl simulation and fattener. So fattener adds odd harmonics when you turn it up and even harmonics when you turn it down. So turn it on. Oh, lovely that, isn't it? And adding even harmonics. Adds like an octave, doesn't it? Gorgeous that. Then going back into the master effects, just because you can see things easier, especially on this vinyl sim. We've got the vinyl sim, which has got a compressor, noise level, wow and flutter, and overall level. And I've had a little play with this Sedgwick Avenue, this preset 308. You know, I've put the other effects on there as well. On the preset, it's got this hip hop drum that's got vinyl crackle on it, but I've added the crackle. There we go. This is the vinyl mode, and you can see on the app that I'm changing the noise level. I can change it to whatever I want of those. If we have a listen. And you can hear we're getting the vinyl crackle whether we're playing or not. Next up, we'll look at the new reverb. If we go to Shift and Edit, to the reverb, do. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but got it on the snare drum here. And looking at the app again, just for ease. Pre-delay, low cut, high cut. Density. But you can hear it does a little pitch shift. It's pretty cool. And it's up and it's down, and it's sort of random as far as I can tell. Nice little touch, and then over to the delay. And what we've got here, again, is this pitch shift one. So let's have a listen to it on the snare alone. Pitch it up. Or we can pitch it down. Cool. So there are some great additions there. I really like those FM drum models and the fact that you can go in and tweak them to your heart's content. That is excellent. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was of use to somebody somewhere. And if it was, do please think about subscribing, ring the bell, and maybe join me over on my Patreon, because it all helps to support the channel. Well, happy TR-8S'ing, and I will see you next time.